Welcome back, friends. This week is an exciting week in the NFT world, but not for the reason that you think. Make sure to stay tuned in this one. We're going to get into some really unique stuff. So this week is extra special in the NFT world, but not because some bought some art. Not because some Bored Ape Yacht Club just made some new historic price, but because the first piece of real estate being sold vis-a-vis tokenized NFTs is actually going to go down this week on an auction in Florida. So I'm going to go ahead and explain this to you in a way that hopefully gives you enough backstory and insight into what's happening and tells you how revolutionary this idea actually is. So in 2017, the then CEO of the company of TechCrunch decides that he wanted to be a first mover. So what does he do? He says, I want to be the first person who takes a tokenized piece of real estate and I buy it and sell it, right? So what does he do? He sells an apartment in the Ukraine vis-a-vis an NFT. But that wasn't an easy thing to do. So what did they do? They took a US-based LLC, a company that owned the title. Then they had a DeFi-based smart contract. That's really a complicated term for saying decentralized finance. Basically an open source code contract that says, should anybody ever sell this NFT, that NFT owner has control over this LLC. And this LLC owns this piece of real estate in the Ukraine. That happened in 2017, 4 years ago. And while it was kind of cool and interesting, the understanding of the blockchain at the time was so limited that a lot of people thought it was just more sensational. But if you're the CEO of TechCrunch and you're in this space, you want to be the first person whose name is associated with it because it's a historic moment in history. Well, flash forward to today. What happens now? In Florida, an apartment is being sold this week vis-a-vis the exact same model with the exact same company, Propy, P-R-O-P-Y, taking the lead on it. And what they've done again is a US-based LLC owns a property. The property will not be owner occupied, so it is an investment purpose property. It's not fractionalized ownership. It means the person who buys the NFT will be one person, and it's not 15 people crowdfunding or crowdsourcing. And what's interesting is Propy is also arranged for two companies to provide some type of financing. And while the gray area around how the financing will work is out there, what's really cool is this is the first piece of real estate in the United States that will be sold this way. Now, the complications arise in that the title company process where the blockchain will really be revolutionary and who owns a piece of property selling it is not really being utilized. So the real estate company, Propy, figured out they cannot unilaterally overnight disrupt the real estate industry in the way we title things. If you followed my videos for any length of time, you know that my belief is the blockchain will ultimately circumvent a lot of the things we use for authenticity, for titling, to make sure that we really truly own things. But they've decided we can't disrupt that industry overnight, so the best way to move forward is you take an LLC, a limited liability company in the United States, you move the title of that property into that LLC, and then you have these smart contracts which say anytime this NFT trades in the secondary market and somebody buys it from somebody else, that person controls the LLC, which ultimately owns the real estate. So now on title, the LLC is always the owner, but who actually owns that company can change very quickly. You saw a very similar structure in situations that were very public, like the Ace family situation, where the Ace family bought an existing LLC which owned the real estate, but didn't actually buy the real estate. Well, when you think about an NFT space, this is particularly unique because now people can not only buy something tangible, but they can buy real estate with their cryptocurrency. So if you're Ethereum holding and you've made a ton of money in the last, call it 5 or 10 years, and you're looking for a way to put your money to use that'll actually have real world implications, there's some exotic car dealerships that are selling some stuff, but this is the first time you've ever been able to actually buy a piece of real estate with it. And that is a tremendous first step. Ironically, Florida in this set of circumstances are dubbing themselves the most crypto-friendly state. And I'm using bunny ears to quote that because I don't think there's anything that really suggests that to be true. From all the things that I know, Wyoming is by far and away the most crypto-friendly state. They have the most crypto laws, they have the most blockchain familiarity when it comes to their regulation, and they have the case law now through litigation that really establishes their state as being kind of the most forward-thinking and forward-moving state as it relates to the blockchain and cryptocurrency. So by the end of this week, we will see this transaction go down via an auction. And there's a private Discord group for members of Proppy, but you can actually just join the Proppy's website. It's a 2-second login, and you can get access to the Discord, and you can kind of see how this conversation evolves. I don't know that this will be the model for real estate moving forward, because keep in mind the blockchain is going to be a vital part of title as things go forward. But if you can do this in this sense now, in 2022, I'm telling you by the end of this year, you're going to start getting to the point where this is becoming more mainstream. People that are large hodlers of cryptocurrency or holders of cryptocurrency can take their Bitcoin, can take their Ethereum, and they can really, really go into the market. At the same time, I think you're going to start seeing a separation between the gimmicky coins or the dog coins, for example. I hold Doge, I like Doge, but I don't think Doge is going to last long term. I don't think the Shiba Inu coins are going to last long term. I think a lot of the funny coins, if you want to call them that, they're going to wind up going by the wayside because people are going to really start implementing the usage of things like Bitcoin, like Ethereum on established blockchains. And for any of you who think, hey, Chris never gives us any kind of tips or investment structure, Solana. I really believe the Solana blockchain and the Solana investment structure will make that particular coin strong as you move forward. And while I think you've seen the growth in Ethereum and Bitcoin, and you're heading into a bit of a kind of unstable time with them, I think Solana's got a lot more upside potential. So you're going to see these three, maybe some outliers, rise up in the next year or so as these options for real estate ownership become available. And we get to see it this week play out in real time. Is this going to be a sensational thing where people don't care? Or is there going to be a lot of interest in this property, and is it going to drive up well above what list price or normal price would be in the economy? If you're a home buyer in this market and you're already seeing challenges of people outbidding you, that could be a very scary proposition. And let me explain to you how this works out in the real world. If I'm a home seller, and I know that this property transaction that was sold vis-a-vis this ownership did really, really, really well. And there was a lot of bidding because there's so much pent-up demand to get this cryptocurrency out into the real world. What happens? As a seller, I might think to myself, I might get way over the otherwise normalized appraised value and purchase price of selling it in a normal transaction if I go the cryptocurrency route, because there's a lot more people out there who want to go down that path. So if this does exceptionally well, it could ignite an entirely different fire, inflating real estate values even more as sellers say, there's a way for me to cash in majorly here as a first mover. So for all of you out there who are watching this thinking to yourself, it's sensational. This is not like the JPEG images that you're seeing sell for historically crazy and insane prices. This is not one of those things where there's a fabled club that comes along with it like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. This is one of those real world events that's going to change the way we think about and perceive these coins in the blockchain going forward. And I'll tell you, if it goes well, you're going to see a lot more of this, a hell of a lot more of this. Keeping it short and sweet this week. I hope you enjoyed. Share with your friends. If you have comments down below, hit me with them. I love getting into the engaged conversation. I want to hear what you have to say. Till next time.